Hello friends and welcome to StudyIQ. I am Joycey Joy and today in this lecture we will discuss about the draft Social Security Code of 2019. So let us see what is the current affair. Let us first understand what are the details of the current affair. So the third draft on the Social Security Code of 2019 has come out, and the third draft, the objectives or the aim of the third draft is to amalgamate, that is to club and also to simplify and to rationalize the relevant provisions of the existing central labor laws. So it tries to amend through amalgamation, simplification and rationalization of the already existing central labor laws. But the current affair is that even though it has tried to meet these objectives, the code has fallen short of stated objective of amalgamation, simplification and rationalization. So it definitely means that there are certain flaws or shortcomings with the third draft code of Social Security. So we will understand what are the flaws, what are the concerns, and what has happened previously and whether the previous mistakes has again repeated in the Social Security Code. So we'll understand all this in detail in this lecture, and this is a very important topic from your UPSC perspective, especially for your mains examination. You can expect a question in order to analyze the provisions of the Social Security Code, the draft Social Security Code, and to analyze various shortcomings and flaws in this code. So this is very important topic. You can expect this question in your GS paper 1, in your social issues, also in your paper 2, in your polity and governance, and also in your essay paper you can expect topics that are connected with this topic or this subject. So you can expect in all these papers. So very important topic, we will discuss about it in detail. Now let us understand what are the flaws or what are the shortcomings in the Social Security Code, the third Social Security Code draft. So first one, it merely clubs together the existing schemes in the organized sector. So we have seen in the objective that one of the major objective of the draft code is to amalgamate the existing labor laws. But here what we see is that it simply clubs or brings together all the existing schemes in the organized sector. Now, second flaw or second shortcoming is that it has avoided certain ambiguities over basic criteria for availing the Social Security benefits, such as minimum number of employees, the length of the service, etc. Now, if we look at the social services provided by an organization to its employees, there are certain minimum criteria or eligibility conditions that are prescribed by the government. So this includes the number of employees in an organization, also the length or the duration of the work, the nature of the work or the character of the work of the employee. So all these are certain criteria based on which Social Security benefits are given to the employees. So here we will see that the draft code has avoided certain ambiguities regarding basic criteria for availing the Social Security benefits. Now, the basic structural and conceptual flaws. Let us come to the flaws. The first one is that there is no uniform definition of Social Security. So this is a Social Security Code. It has to define what is meant by Social Security. But in the code we will see that there is no uniform definition given for Social Security, and this itself is a very important, very conceptual and structural flaw. Second one is that there is no central fund. So no central fund means that the central government or the union government does not set aside any fund for the provision of Social Security benefits. So no central fund, and the corpus is to be proposed to be split into numerous small funds for the provision of Social Security. So what happens is that when the corpus is proposed to be split into very large number of numerous small funds, this will create multiplicity. And so this multiplicity will create confusion among the authorities or who has to give how much. All this will create confusions. So first thing here is that there is no central fund or union government contribution towards this. Second one is that the corpus of this fund is split among numerous authorities, creating multiplicity and confusion. Now, third thing is that it is unclear how the proposed dismantling of the existing and functional structures. Already there are certain existing structures, those are in function. So like for example EPFO, Employees Provident Fund Organization, is a better alternative. So the government has not made it clear that how the existing structures, the government has not made it clear that how the new structure or the proposed structure would be a better alternative compared to the already existing structures. So already there are in function organizations or structures like EPFO, Employees Provident Fund Organization. So government has to make it clear how the new proposals will be a better alternative. Now, fourthly, there are no clear definition for very crucial categories like workers, the wages, principal agent, etc. Now also organized, unorganized sectors. So all these are certain important terms in social security. So these terms does not have a clear-cut definition according to the government's new draft code. So this is also a structural flaw. And finally, there is no commitment from the government to make contributions to the listed social security measures. So these are all some of the shortcomings or the flaws. Now let us see what is unclear. Now firstly we must understand that the idea of the government is good. This is because the idea of the government is to bring in large sections of the workforce under the social security net. Definitely bringing large number of workforce under the social security net is a very good idea, because the number of workers or employees who will get the social security benefits will increase. Definitely the idea is good, but the government is not clear about certain things. So this makes structural shortcomings in this code. So first one is that the government has not exactly made it clear how to facilitate the access to provident fund or medical care or other social security benefits. So facilitation of the access to various social security measures or social security benefits is a question. So how the government will facilitate the access? This is the first question. Now secondly, in certain cases the nature of relationship between the company, that is the employer, and the working staff, that is the employee, and the obligations between them, that is, and for the employer to the employee. So the obligations and the relationship, the nature of relationship between both these stakeholders has not been clearly defined. So this is another thing that is not clear in the code. And third one, if employees in the unorganized sector are also expected to get their social security benefits, let us take for example EPFO, Employees Provident Fund. So in the Employees Provident Fund, both the employer and the employee, so employer and the employee has to make contributions. So definitely if the employer is making contributions, it means that the employer will have to spend more money on providing social security benefits to the employee. So what will happen? This will definitely hike the cost of doing business. So the profit margins of the employer will come down. So this will force the employer to increase the prices of the final goods. Whether it is goods or services, the prices will go up. This will create inflation situation in the economy. And also when the profit margin comes down, there can be impact on the output and also employment generation. So these are the things that has to be kept in mind. So the cost of doing business will go up again. Now let us come to some failed examples. Let us see some previous examples where such kind of initiatives have been a failure. Now we have already understood what are the shortcomings, what are the flaws in the code. So these similar kind of shortcomings and flaws have also happened previously, and the existing benefits for the unorganized workers have failed to materialize because of similar shortcomings and flaws. So if we look at the present status, we will see that there are already existing benefits for the unorganized sector workers, but most of these benefits have failed to materialize. Even though it is in the rules, in the laws, in the papers, the unorganized workers are not getting the benefits. So these proposals or the initiatives have not materialized. This is because of the structural flaws that are existing, that we have discussed already with regard to this social security code. Now let us take a very good example in order to understand it better. The Building and Construction Workers Cess Fund. This has come to existence almost 22 years back. So Building and Construction Workers Cess Fund is a social security fund or a corpus for the construction workers. Now construction workers are considered to be in the unorganized sector and they constitute the majority or the largest proportion of the unorganized workers in India. So the Building and Construction Workers Cess Fund, this is a 22-year-old fund and this fund has failed to materialize. Let us see how. This is because the workers, the construction workers, the building workers were not able to avail the fund effectively. Let us see what happened. The fund has less than 3 crore registered workers. So this is the number of workers who are registered in the fund. It is less than 3 crore. While according to the official estimates, there are around 5 crore construction workers, and according to the union government estimates, there are over 10 crore construction workers. So the registered number is only 3 crore, and this 3 crore is all the state welfare boards put together. So official estimate says that it's more than 5 crore, union government says it's more than 10 crore. So what has happened is that the actual target of the government has not been materialized because most of them were not included in the welfare provisions or the provision of welfare funds for the workers. So this has happened with other schemes, other initiatives of the government as well. So this is not just a single case. But if we take the example of Building and Construction Workers Cess Fund, the similar situation has existed for almost all other welfare schemes which are run for the welfare of unorganized sector workers by the central government as well as by the state government. So this elimination or filtration has happened with many other funds as well. Now the problem with the third draft Social Security Code is that the code merely clubs the relevant sections of the existing laws without specifying how these issues are to be addressed. So we have seen what are the issues with the existing laws or statutes. So the existing statutes are just clubbed together without giving a solution on how these issues with the existing statutes can be resolved. So there is no solution that is proposed by the government in this regard, but it is just clubbing all the existing statutes. So issues are not addressed. Now what is the solution? The government should address the long pending structural issues and should actually simplify the existing labor laws. So the government should actually focus on addressing the structural flaws, structural issues, and also to simplify the existing labor laws. So this should be the focus of the government and this can act as a solution. Merely clubbing the existing laws will not bring any benefits because the existing statutes has already proven that this is ineffective. The materialization to the fuller extent is not possible. So you can find the PDF of this lecture on our website www.studyiq.com. You can also follow my Facebook page for more video updates. You can write to me at joyce.studyiq@gmail.com for any of your queries and clarification. Thank you.